sometimes feeling not worthy enough or unhappy or not meeting that goal.
Could I just inject something about the law of attraction in that real quick?
Yes, sir.
That gave me chills, man. I'm telling you, the biggest problem that people have with the law of attraction, the reason why they cannot activate it properly is probably because they read The Secret and they stopped there and they believe, and they subconsciously believe that I will only be happy if I have this thing in my life, and we'll never be able to achieve that desire. We'll never be able to manifest that desire unless we're happy now. You don't need that other thing. So you have to, you have this, like you said, this expectation is just putting your happiness in the future when you should be happy now.
Yeah, you're talking about, I mean, I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to have to mute myself here when it comes up. But ambition is really about discontentment. It's not being happy in the present. It's not being happy in the moment. It's wanting something more in the future to fulfill something. Where the law of attraction, mindfulness, all these things are about being content right now with what you have, being thankful and gracious and showing gratitude for what you have now, where ambition pushes you to want something more, trying to fulfill a void that you're trying to identify.
One more thing and I'll shut up. One more thing.
You don't get to shut up. You're on here for another half hour at least.
Bob Proctor says you have to be grateful for what you have now. And I mean, when I say have to, I mean genuinely happy with what you have now, but you can be unsatisfied. So you can be unsatisfied, but be grateful with what you have. And that dissatisfaction, is that how you say it? Dissatisfaction. Thank you. Dissatisfaction is what drives us to bigger and better things. So if Bob Proctor says it, it's infallible. So he's my boy. I love Bob Proctor.
All right, Christopher, give us some of your own insights on this idea about being unhappy when our expectations of reality exceed our expectations of reality. Give us some insight on that. And then we got to go back to Stevie because I completely just skipped over your story that you were going to tell.
Who's Stevie?
I'm sorry, Kai.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I go by Kai Valentine for my law of attraction stuff and Stevie Collier for my author stuff. It's no secret. So
I'm over here free speaking. I'm like in the moment.
That's cool, man.
And that's what makes these seminars magical, John.
You ruined my life.
I'll make it up to you.
Okay.
Okay, so expectations and reality. Automatically, what triggers me in this particular setting is that we, particularly in Western society, are incapable of understanding what's actually good for us as individual people. We have this illusion and this dream that everybody should be on a beach with a Mai Tai, getting ready to go on a yacht, and with a helicopter on board, and that's the perfect life. And we see it all the time. It's advertised in the media, social media. It's advertised on the TV with the go to the swanky bars and talk to all the cool people, the Hollywood life, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where we get tripped up, is our expectation is we'll only be happy if we're living the maximum allowable value of life. And that is determined by the media. Mm-hmm. And it's never determined by us or by what we know about ourselves. And so the trick is you have to know what you're about, in layman's terms. You have to be honest with yourself and start to do the deep work that is necessary to know what is truly good for you and not allow external inputs to determine that dream for you. Now, so one of the things, like going into law of attraction that Kai's talking about so much here, is that the law of attraction isn't about just getting stuff. It's not just about attaining the mansion or the Ferrari or this, that, and the other thing. In fact, the law of attraction, some of the most powerful manifestors have manifested the most quaint little lives in the world. These are people who you can see walking around every day. These are people who walk around smiling regardless of what their financial picture looks like. This is where we get tripped up with ambition, is that it's all material gains. Yeah. And it's all about acquiring more and more and more. This is the consumer culture at work here. Mm-hmm. Whereas if our ambition is poured into other facets of our lives, say I want to be the most in-tune yoga teacher ever, right? Is my ambition to be the richest yoga teacher ever? No. Do I want my yoga practice to go to a whole nother level so I can help other people? Okay, those are two different ways you can take your ambition. And so what I'm getting at is those unrealistic goals that we set for ourselves because we accept somebody else's version of what we're supposed to be is where we get tripped up the most. If your ambition is honest and truly about what you are passionate about in life, then you can't really have a con with it.
No, I'm with you 100%. And we see this where folks are setting up their own life goals based on other people's definition of success. I mean, through the statistics, we can see that we as a human race are wealthier than we've ever been in the past, but we're unhappier than we've ever been. We're more prosperous than we've ever been, but we're more depressed than we've ever been. Overall, we're unsatisfied. We have more suicides now than we have homicides or homicides. We have... yeah, there's more suicides in the world than homicides.
And the reason is that we are not allowed by society most of the time to live the life that we really truly desire.
Yeah. I mean, we have fast cars, we have cell phones, we have planes that fly in the sky. We can get, to places quicker and faster. We have more goods and services, all these things, but we have less life satisfaction, and we spend more time complaining about all the things that we have at our fingertips. I mean, we have a computer in our hands, at our fingertips, access to all the knowledge in the world. How many times a day you
complain about it? It's not going fast enough.
And we're unhappy. We're not thankful and gracious for the things that we have right here in our immediacy.
You know what? I will admit that I do like yachts. I do like helicopters. And I know one day that I will have these things. But as Chris says, they're not everything. And if you just think you're going to be happy when you achieve these material desires, well, you're unfortunately wrong, and you're just going to end up, like I always say, like feeling like your soul got sucked out of you. And so there's always this balance, and realizing that true wealth comes from relationships, in my opinion, relationships with yourself and with other people. And wealth is also having amazing experiences with those you love. That's true wealth.
Absolutely.
That's
taking the words right out of my mouth that I was going to bring it later.
Seminar done.
Boom. All right, Kai, tell us your story. We've put it off long enough. Tell us a little bit about your story. Then we'll continue on with some of these cons.
So this is kind of a con, but not really. Before I met Lisa, who I've been with for almost 2 years now, and we're moving into a bigger, luxurious apartment, thanks to the universe and God, obviously, which is a funny story. We almost didn't get it, so I just visualized the hell out of it. What was I saying? Oh, so I met this girl on Tinder, and I took her out, and immediately, I met her at a Renaissance fair, and she smoked
wildly different things.
I like how you confuse that.
Because I was anyway. I met Lisa on Tinder. Well, you know this, right? She's arguing with me. So I took her out automatically. Immediately, I knew we weren't going to get along. She smoked she was a chain smoker, and at one point she says, "I don't believe I'm going to live long, and I don't want to live long anyway." And of course, look at me. There's no way that's going to work out with me. I mean, it just drained me, but I was curious, so I kept asking questions. And, I was myself 100%. But at the end of the night, she went like this. She goes, "You're a lot." So she said, "You're a lot." And I think the con was she saw me as overly ambitious. And of course, I don't think I'm overly ambitious. I'm on the cusp of it. So if we're getting into cons, I would love to talk about this con of over ambitiousness.
Please do.
So I consider myself, or I did consider myself, overly ambitious. Anyone who's working with me now, my fellow authors, Joshua, Chris, do I call her Diana on here?
Yeah.
Okay, Diana. They realize that, I'm not always there, and I'm not always on Facebook Messenger, and it's because I've accepted way too many freaking businesses. The law of attraction overproduced for me and gave me way too many opportunities, and I stupidly accepted yes. Now, I love LifeGrove, so I would never get rid of that. But what I had to do was realize, Kai, you've been overly ambitious. You've put way too many irons in the fire, and you have to figure out a way to reduce the amount of work, because you're straining the relationship with Lisa because you're not spending enough time. You're always working. And it was just, you could ask her, I was going insane. And I'm always every day saying, I'm not organized. And this over ambition really hurt my life because I just kept saying yes. And you would think, there's no such thing as too much ambition. Well, yeah, it is when you grow. And here's the key word: imbalance.